Now here's a nice tune for you to learn, the Ookpik Waltz, which was composed by a Canadian fiddler, Frankie Rogers, in the 1960s, I believe. This tune has become very popular, and one of my students asked to learn it, and looking for different versions, I found that everybody plays it a bit differently, and some of the versions are quite ornate and have quite a lot of chromaticism in them. So I decided to look for a recording of the original, and I found it on YouTube. You can find it, Frankie Rogers, with a D, Rogers, Ookpik Waltz, and he plays a fairly simple, straightforward, lively tempo tune, which I think is a lot of fun to learn, and a good place to start if you want to learn some of the more elaborate variations at some point, but I think it's very nice in this basic, simple version. We're going to, I'm going to look at it, I'm going to learn basses at the same time as the melody. It's not a difficult tune bass-wise, and unusually for a tune in G major, you are really not hampered by the fact that on 8 bass boxes, normally you don't have a C major chord, which makes accompanying a lot of tunes in G major difficult or even impossible, because C is, of course, the dominant chord, the 5th chord of G major. Actually, it's the 4th, the subdominant, but you can't really get away without it. But this tune, instead of going to C chords, gravitates, but centers on G and E minor and D. And we use a couple of A minor chords here and there as well, where you could put a C major chord, but A minor does very well in this case. So I'll just play the melody for you quickly. So that was a bit of a rushed run through, but now let's look at the tune in detail. So here's the first part, melody, the first phrase I should say. Again. Use your outer or F sharp, use a grace note here if you like, and try and end up with your index finger on the G. If you forget to do that, it's a long note, 5 beats, so you can actually swap fingers. That frees your other fingers up for the next phrases coming up. So the bases for that, let's just do them in without papas, just block for the moment. G, D, G. Again. If you want to do papas, it's pretty easy there. Okay, next phrase, melody. Start with D, lead pickup note. Another 5 beat note at the end there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again. And with basses you could do a D chord on the pickup note, and then we're going to switch to E minor. You can't hold the E minor chord all the way through because we have some push notes. But you can do that kind of thing. And if you wanted to do papas, it would be. You'd miss out the first part in the second lot there. Okay, next phrase on the melody goes like this. It's very similar for the first part. I'll do that again. Now try to end up on your middle finger on that last note, which is an E. So and again use your outer F sharp here. Okay, and chord wise we'll start the same way. We'll go from E minor to G to A minor. Alright, so if you wanted to do papas, it would be something like this. I'm forgetting my fingering here. Trying to end up on the second finger. Okay, so that's that phrase. And the last little phrase, you having finished with your middle finger on the E here, it frees your index finger up to go down and reach this low B. You could also jump. The next note is C natural. And then leapfrog over your middle finger to end up on E on your index. 1, 2, 1. Now chord-wise, we just finished on A minor, and this is like the last beat of that bar, but doesn't really go with an A minor chord, so we'll just stop and get ready for an E minor chord there. E minor to D to G. Papas would be very straightforward. Okay, so that's the entire first part. Let's try and stick it together slowly with block chords, just for simplicity's sake. Let's go to the second part. Now, in the second part, it starts rather dramatically, the way Frankie Rogers plays it. You could play those repeated notes with the same finger, or if you like, alternate them, but just remember they have to have a little swing to them. It's not. And for that we can play E minor. Let's do 3 chords. E minor to D to G. And then, next phrase. D, G, yes, let's put an A minor in there. Let's go from D to G to A minor and back to E. And repeat that. I'll do it slowly. D. And so off we go there. Now in the second part, I think because of the nature of the tune, the dramatic yum ba da da da, I wouldn't try to do pa pas there. You could. I don't like it. I would just stick to block chords. So do what you like there. The only other thing that I need to tell you is that Frankie Rogers finishes on the A part, so he'll play A, B, many times as he wants, and then A, and there's a little coda at the end of the A section, which goes like this, melody-wise. Now, and the... And then let's do that. So it'll finish on an E minor chord there. So the whole coda might be. Alright, so that's a quick run through with the basses, and you can figure out your pa pas as you like. Alright?